Hello everybody, how you doing? Hope everybody's doing fine, I really do. And we're going to get into this video here in just one little second. Hope you like the new intro, and this is what we're going to use from now on. So much love, fasten your seatbelt, and let's get her going. Hello everybody, how you doing? We're going to get straight into this. I'm showing you a weather map, and I got a couple of questions I got to ask you. And the reason why I'm asking you is because I got some things to put together for you, and I want you to think about them. Number one, this area right here, there's a low pressure system that has been pushed down from up here. Okay? And now it's went off the coast into the Gulf, and now it's turning into a tropical depression. The path of this storm is supposed to go through this way. Alright, now number one, the middle part of this country has already been hit real bad with flooding, rain, ice melting, you name it. A lot of flooding and everything. Over here in California, we had 2 earthquakes, significant in size, 6.4 and a 7.1. Okay, very large earthquakes. Now, I want to move on to something, and we're going to move to, but before I do, let's talk about something else. Remember global warming? The big doo-doo word, and it was caused by carbon. Remember? And then they changed the word to climate change, right? The oldest word in the dictionary. Now let's come to this. Proof that all that's bullshit, right off the get-go. It's 2019 right here. Right? 2019. Now, this one is 1919. 99 degrees. 100 years apart. This one's also 2019. Also 100 years apart. But the biggest deal of all is this one. 1915, 100 degrees. The highest on record. But don't forget this one. 79 degrees in 1973. 2003, 85 degrees, 86 degrees. 75, 90 degrees. All of them are the high temperatures now. Don't forget that. They're all the high temperatures. Why am I telling you that? Why does that look strange? Why does that look strange? Now, in this era, we didn't have weather modification yet, did we? Nope, we did not. What did we have back in those days that we got today? Volcanoes. Haven't we had an escalated situation about volcanoes erupting this year and last year? Yep. And one earthquake, if they're right about carbon causing problems, aren't they right? Isn't it possible that the earthquakes itself is causing the carbon buildup to cause more heat? No, I don't believe that either. You know why? Because when the carbon does go in the sky, with all that smoke and dust from an earthquake, it makes the climate cooler because of the clouds and the dust in the sky. So why would it be getting hotter? Well, it's the oldest word in the dictionary. It is climate change, but it's not climate change in the manner of which your carbon that you breathe in and out of or comes out of your car is causing. You understand? It ain't carbon at all. They're wrong. The period. Straight up. They're wrong. Climate change has been happening for years and years and years, way back before dinosaurs. You couldn't live on this planet. If you studied history on your planet, you would know this. And if you don't, maybe you need to look into it. Watch a couple of movies. It tells you that our climate, at the beginning, you couldn't live on this planet. There was no way. It was too unstable. Years, hundreds and hundreds of years later, we finally, climate changed enough to where animals like the dinosaurs come along. And then another climate change era come and froze all of those animals, they say. There's multiple stories on how that happened. But still, the fact remains that they got extinct and then we evolved. Okay? That's enough about that. Point being is, you see 100-year difference right here, right now, in your face. They made this and showing you in your face that in 1915 the temperature was hotter than it is today. It's 90 and 91, and in 1919, which is 100 years, okay, it's only 99. But it was 99 degrees. It's only 90 and 91 now. It's 100 years later. You get me? Now 1915, it was a little older than that. So you see my point here? That's like 4 more years older. 104 years. You see? Do you see what I'm showing you? So the story of climate change itself is nothing more than just a plain old, like I've been telling you for years, it's a hoax. It's for people that want to make money off of you. Big money. And that's why they're out there buying up all the fresh water they can buy up. Why? Because they want all the money. You remember when you used to go get water for nothing? Can you buy water now for nothing? No, you can't. They want to charge you from water. Everything. Okay, let's go back to our other chart here. Now you see this. It's here. I want to go over here and show you something. Now this is the web page where I have the oldest, from the 1900 earthquakes. We're going to talk a little bit about HAARP. There's going to be people out there to tell you that you can't heat the ionosphere. Now, that's total bullshit. It's just total bullshit. This is one antenna with a low amount of wattage. That's about 400 watts that you're seeing right there. It's creating that plasma coming off of the antenna. I made that tip for the antenna just to make this experiment. Now, that's melting steel, which is 3,800 degrees. Stainless steel, that is. 3,800 and some odd degrees underneath, more. But we're going to go with 3,800 degrees to melt that metal. Now, if it'll melt metal, and that's only 400 watts, what do you think 3.6 million watts, not counting the dB gain of the antenna and the dB gain under the height of the antenna and the gain of the direction that the antenna is pointing, because they can make that array, there's 180 antennas, point in one direction, like a beam antenna, which gives it even more dB gain, which multiplies the power by a bunch. We've talked about that before. Now, I'm not saying that HAARP has anything to do with this over here. I'm not saying that, because HAARP is not the only one out there. But if you got HAARP, say HAARP is running, what it does, say this is God dang it, what's that thing called? Shit. Can't remember the name of it. Boy, I hate that medicine I take. Damn, I hate it. Anyway, if you take metformin, you know what I'm talking about. You know what it is. You don't forget what it is. You just can't remember how to say it. Or something. Anyway, if you create the ionosphere, okay, just imagine this is the equator. That's the word I'm looking for. Imagine this is the equator down here. I know it's not far enough down, but we're not showing a whole map. Alaska's up here. Well, what you're doing is you're pulling this equator line up towards it, and you're making a big loop. So you're pulling it up from the heat. You're pushing the ionosphere out into the atmosphere, out into space further, which pulls this up. All of the proven military records show this. They know what they can do with heat and what they can do with radio waves. It's not just the radio wave. It creates heat. Now, everybody's trying to tell you that heat, you know, this, that, and another. There's a big story about I wouldn't set my balls on it. Okay, well, don't set your balls on it. You ain't supposed to do that anyway, because you dumbass, you won't have no kids. But anyway, point being is this. If it will heat up the ionosphere, which we know it will, I know it will, but all the other people saying all the different things that they're saying, okay, let them say it. But my point of it is this. Since I was a little kid, I had to do an essay on a book that was about weather. I had 7 books, and I had to read them all for the summer for my teacher, because I got in trouble in school and she went on an essay about weather. Why, I don't know, but I don't remember. I don't know why I got in trouble either, so it doesn't matter, but that's about the point. But I do remember reading all the books and writing the big long essay. It was like 7 or 8 pages that had to have something to do with each book in it. So I had to do a summary of all the books. But the point of it is this. What I remember of that, back in those days, we had very little radar. Wasn't very good back then either. It's not near as good as it is today. And we didn't have computers either. We didn't have them till I was in my 20s. No, I was older. In my 30s when they really started getting halfway decent. And that was still Windows 95, and that shit sucked. I hated Windows 95. But that's neither here nor there. But my point of it is this. I'm not telling you that HAARP's doing this, because on this planet there's hundreds of arrays in the world. They all have a lot of power. There's a lot of talk about China and Russia and this, that, and another. Okay, everybody's got their own beliefs about what's happening and what ain't. And I'm not pushing no belief on you about what's happening. I'm not doing that. But what I am telling you is this. What I've seen, I have never ever seen a storm or a low pressure system come from up north, go down into the Gulf and start its circular motion, just like this, in this direction, like you see it's doing, turning, which is a low pressure, the high pressure goes the other way, okay? It goes in the other direction. There's a high over here and a high over here, and a low. And then this low turn into a tropical depression and supposed to turn into a Category 1 hurricane before it hits landfall, which is somewhere over in this area. Maybe. It's projected to hit all different kinds of areas. It's got hundreds and hundreds of lines, okay? But I'm showing you this. The reason why I'm showing you this is because I've never seen this. This is the third time that I've seen a storm develop in an area that it should not have developed. Most of our hurricanes that have got any strength or stamp to them have always come off the Gulf, or off the coast of Africa, and that's off in this direction. No error. Hold on. It's off in this direction. Okay, a long way across the ocean. All right. Now, why am I telling you all this? Why am I saying that? It's because if this is being modified, could it possibly have to do anything with the earthquakes that we just had? And I just gotta say something else. We are having an awful damn lot of damn earthquakes. And I mean deep earthquakes. I mean, they have extremely accelerated in the last few years. They've gotten really, really extensive. And over here on the coast, in this area, they've actually been covering a bunch of them up. They were little, but they were covering them up. Why? Covering them up because Dutch is right. And back over here onto the website, I put this video over here because I thought it needed to be here. How to forecast an earthquake. It's from 1900 to 2000 right here. And there's other ones on here, 2015, 15, most of them 15, 12. Some of them are even 17. These are charts showing you the earthquakes went up. So that's the 1900s. Here's another one to 2014. Earthquakes going up. Tornadoes actually even went up. From 1915 to 1995. You can see it. Tornadoes went up as well. Right here in your face. And they're getting worse. They're getting worse, folks. So it's up to you to think whatever you want to and believe whoever you want to. You know, there's a lot of people that's got good information. They do. But they ain't old enough to pull piss out of a boot. They don't know exactly the things that other people know. And then they want to tell you that they're Prince Charmings of everything and they know it all. I'm so tired of hearing that quote, because they don't. They don't. They don't know it all. But that's getting off into something else. But folks, this is unnatural. This is not natural forming of a tropical storm. Not natural at all. The earthquakes are natural, and it could have been its time for those to happen. Or was it? We've had several volcanoes go off. Was that natural too? Some that ain't went off in 100 years. If I'm quoting that exactly right. So what do you think? Is it now time for Yellowstone to have its little burp in the atmosphere too? Is that what someone's really trying to do? I don't know. You think about it. You tell me in the comment section below. You let me know. But I know with all the 2.4 gig, the 5G that's coming out, all of those frequencies that we've got, if you took a red dot and you put it touching each one of them all over the country, that's how many cell towers you got in this country. And they're all transmitting 2.4 gigs now. That's the same thing your microwave oven transmits. Could it be used as a weapon? You bet your sweet ass. So you think about it. And all you people that are putting your cell phones in your front pocket, you better stop doing that, men. Or you're not going to have no more kids if you're young. And young ladies, you need to quit doing the same thing, because you won't have no kids because it's killing your eggs. And not anything else to do with any other bodily damage it's causing to you. Men, your prostate gland, it'll quit producing testosterone. So you need testosterone to do what? Tell them, ladies, what they need that for. Well, anyway, much love to y'all. And from my cold dead hands, and I damn well mean it, abolish corporate greed. I just showed you one good reason why corporate greed is taking everything away from you and all your freedoms at the same time. And you can't even see it, but it's happening at a real rapid rate right now. So much love to y'all. Y'all have a good night now, you hear?